Good morning, Wednesday. Derby Jack here. Foolishness. Foolishness is not paying attention. Foolishness is worrying about what others have in all this. We see it in Proverbs. I don't know how many churches nowadays even preach from the book of Proverbs because it's judgment. And for all you people who don't like to be judged, have you ever seen the book of Proverbs? Have you ever read it? Have you ever considered what's in a book? I know the rich and those people in high places, they don't read from the Bible at all, let alone even think about reading anything from Proverbs, because they would be insulted, you know. You're talking about kings and rich people, people who have money, you know, people who can make things go in the world. People have the availability just by snapping their fingers for things to happen, you know. Could be good things, could be bad things, you know. They have the voice, the availability to bark out orders and to bark out all kinds of things, right? So let us just read this here. I could go to almost any scripture and make my case here in Proverbs. You know, any one of these chapters. I mean, not chapters, but any one of these. Chapters. But let's go to chapter 19 of Proverbs. Better is the poor that walketh in the integrity, in his integrity, that he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool, than he that is it. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, is it not good? And he, let me read that again. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of man prevaileth his ways. Perverted. My eyes, I'm sorry. Perverted. I knew that was wrong. The foolishness of a man perverteth his ways, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are waiting to him, wanting to him. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, but he that speaketh lies shall perish. Delight not in the seemly for a fool. In the Old Testament, there was a lot of this translation with the if, and it gets confusing, and I'm especially with my eyes, so bear with me. Okay. False witness shall not be unpunished. Okay. Delight not seemingly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over the transgression. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. If a foolish son is the calamity of his father, but the contentions of a wife are the continual dropping. House of riches are the inheritance of a father, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. Slothfulness causeth into, or casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Now, I could go on, but basically what I'm trying to get at is that in this world, what's happening right now, people, whether they could be Christians or not, there are people out there who are looking at certain people, listening to certain people, and it ain't us apparently, or they don't want them. They fight tooth and nail to keep people from listening to people like us. I seen a thing that Richie had put out. I think it was on BitChute, and if you read it, it basically, it's them talking about misinformation, and how everything that we have stated, they turn around and try to state, well, you know, they're getting misinformation themselves. These people, they get a little degree, they may have a psychological degrees, or they may have taken a little college, or mostly a lot of people who do not understand the science usually are unlearned themselves. They don't have the schooling. They don't, see, this is what they do. If you read the thing and you're a truther, you'd be insulted up the yin yang. And I was. I'm not like, you know, like the rest of them out there, because I don't do the research exactly like they do, because they're the ones that I get a lot of information from. The thing of it is, that's what they say. They say, well, they give information from each other, and it tears down the trust of the experts and stuff like that. So this is what they're throwing out, all this garbage, and yet the human monkey population eat that up. Oh God, we can't be listening to these people. These people are nuts, you know. So we're the nuts. And even though everything that we have ever stated, and especially when it comes down to the Bible, everything that Richie from Boston, other people have laid out throughout the years has come true. But yet they don't say anything like that. They never bring out the actual actually why people come to these positions. You know, it's like to them, they went through all the manifesto of what we talk about. They went from you know, not trusting the government, to not trusting vaccines, to not trusting you know, the climate change, that they say these are very important things and people need to pay attention to them, and we have to do everything we can to curb that misinformation, or to curb it, you know, to get it to stop. And so this is what they're doing. And what they're doing is trying to keep you and me in the foolishness area. They want to make us the fools. But here's the thing. They lie. They're the ones that are lying. And they're the ones who have all the availability to continue their lies. They're the ones who have the money. They're the ones that have the resources. Let me tell you something. If you wanted to do anything wrong, and you had everything to your hand to do so, and you had the money, you had the resources, you had the people, you had everything in the back of your pocket to do whatever you wanted to do. And if you decided to act upon it, you could do some pretty bad stuff, right? And then you could deflect it. And that's a thing that they're doing when they put out this information that they put out. They're deflecting and trying to use everything they can that what it is, everything they're saying about us is actually a deflection, is what they're doing. So your information that you're getting from mainstream, the mainstream information is given to you to manipulate you, to make you think that what they're saying is important. Let me tell you something. These monkeys in high places are not important. These experts in high places do not need to be listened to. These organizations who think that they know something or think that they have the right, they don't have a right. And see, the only way we're going to stop them from their misinformation is that we must confront them and also ignore most of the bull crap that they talk about. Right now, it's supposedly spreading like wildfire throughout the United States. And you know what they're saying. There, yeah, all of that V stuff, right? And now, because of one V that's spreading, they got to give you another V, right? And I've said this before. Isn't it ironic that when you turn on the commercials and you see what they got a V for every freaking thing that you can mention, and they will manipulate you. They will sit there. They will say anything they can to make you get in line and roll up your sleeve. One of my friends, I just talked to him last night. I don't mention people's names unless I am given permission. So this person has been in a hospital for a while, and he's a good Facebook friend and a good YouTube friend. And the thing of it is that he, like I am, we tell the truth, and he's been in a hospital, and he's been in a hospital for quite a while, and had some physical problems. But there was one thing he said, that they came in and they wanted to test him. And they took that dang thing, you know what I'm talking about, and shoved it up his nose. I said, did they break your mucus? See, he says, they didn't care. He said, the nurse didn't care what they did. They wouldn't listen to what I said. They actually had him, I guess, they basically did what they had to do, whether they tied him down or what. What I'm saying is that, we are being strong-armed, and we have got to become wise. Do not be a fool for these fools. Do not bow down to these fools. Let me tell you something. These experts, they're not experts, okay? The only expert that they have in them is how to lie and manipulate. These men, if you have you ever, let me put it this way. When you were a kid and you wanted to build something, Yeah, I remember as a kid building a tree house, right? And we had all these ideas. We built a from where the treehouse was as kids. We were building a bridge that went right to the treehouse from a bank. Instead of going down and going up the tree of the ladder, we could just walk across. It's sort of like we had everything that we needed to do this. Well, later on, of course, we put a potbelly stove up there, and in the winter, the whole tree fort burnt down, but that's a whole nother story. But as kids, we had everything we could get. We got nails, we got wood, we got everything, and we went to town. No permits, no nothing, just in the back of some yard, and we, in a wood area. But what they do is that they get all the resources, and they do whatever they want to do. And they don't care, like kids. They continue doing what they want to do, even though it's wrong. And they do it for other reasons. And the whole point of it is they're telling you it's for safety purposes when actually it's for control purposes. They need you to do what they want you to do. This is part of what they are about. These are egotistical. These are people who have no heart. These are people who are selfish. So when you think of Anthony, when you think of Car Get Car, when you think of the WHO ban, when you think of the Economic Forum, when you think of our governments, and you think of all these people who have sold themselves out to Satan, they have sold themselves out to darkness, they have sold their souls so they could be the controllers, so they could be heard and seen. You think about the stars right now. They're all falling apart. These people have been filled with so much cotton candy. Reality's hitting them as they get older, and they're not getting the money they used to get. And now the handlers are starting to see they're falling apart. Why do you think Mr. Perry died? Right? The actor? When they get to a point where they're starting to fall apart, when they realize that everything that they've been used, and then the handlers don't want them anymore as they get older. And sometimes they bring them back, like, Madonna in a diaper. I don't know why, but they'll do all this stuff, right? So they bring these people back, or they get rid of them. And sometimes when the people start getting to a point where the handlers start realizing, well, they may be opening up their mouth. They may end up saying something, let's get them before they write a book. So they take them out. They kill them. That's right. The people in high places kill your stars, the people your friend stars, right? They kill ambassadors. They kill senators. They kill regular people. Like this explode. You heard about the explosion. I did a little thing on it, right, a couple weeks ago about the so-called conspiracy theorist house blowing up. They'll be having a lot more of that. When people get to a point where they can't handle it, that's why they got to do what they do here on all these platforms. They got to silence us because we make too much sense. And when things are starting to happen their way, of course they change it around. It's sort of like the thing about that new movie. They realized that people started talking about the brother and sister, where the sister has a NASA shirt and the brother had a shirt that said obey. Well, now in the previews and stuff, they've blocked out, in most cases, the obey because they realize. So they understand that we have a voice and they understand that we're making sense. And they got to do everything they can to make us sound that we're imbalanced, that we're crazy, but yet they have to keep fighting us in those areas that every time we point something out, they got to misdirect you. They gotta hide it. They gotta do it. So if we're so wrong, how come they're on their feet so much trying to squash us? If misinformation is just misinformation, then why is it that they have to hold on to the truth so much? So to me, if the truth is really truthful on their side, we wouldn't be fighting them. Do you understand what I'm saying? If what they were saying was truthful, we would not be fighting them. Actually, if they were telling the truth, we'd probably be on their side. But they don't tell the truth. They tell the separate. And when we find the truth and try to open it up there, they get angry because we're opening up cans of worms that they've had closed for a reason. Do you know why they let information out government-wise? They have to do it every 50 or 55 years, is because they have to let the information out. But they don't say when they have to let it out. So when they do tell us things they're going to do, of course they say it in a good way, Oh yeah, lockdowns are good things, so everybody's safe. Basically what they're saying is lockdowns are good for us so we can put your asses away and do whatever the hell we want with you because we don't give two craps about your life. We just want you to be under control. We want to know where you are, what you're doing, when you took a crap, and the last time you had sex. We want to know everything about you so we can sit here and think that we know things and we're better than you. Let me ask you something. Isn't that kind of shallow? Is that if that's what they want, that they want to be sort of like, remember that movie with the girl with the shooting arrow and whatever, where they're under the dome? There's a message they don't want you to think about under a dome, right? And the elites. President Snow or whatever, the elites were eating all kinds of food while these people had the Hunger Games. They had to play Hunger Games just to get something in their stomach, right? And the thing of it is that that's what these people are. That's exactly what these people are. They are a bunch of savages. So here's the thing. You think that, well, these people are in high places and they're honorable, right? They're not refined. There isn't anything good in them. Just because they can wear a $300 suit and they can ride around in limousines and jet planes and they do all this stuff. The people, they have their little weather modification meetings in Davos, and they eat the meat that they tell us we can't eat because now they want to feed us crickets and locusts and all kinds of stuff, right? So this is what I'm saying. They tell us what they're doing to us, and yet most people don't want to wake up to the truth. They don't want to wake up to what is really happening here. You've lost your souls, people. You've lost your identity. That's what they want you to understand. That you're nothing but a number to them. And when you don't understand this, and you don't everybody is to them. Even in a negative. People like us, I know that Richie from Boston, they got a number on him. They all the different Steve Irwin. It comes think they got a number on him. They got a number on all of us, right? And there's a number behind us, and they keep tabs on all these numbers. I know my little channel that keeps getting taken down and keeps getting pushed down into the basement with Scully and Mulder of the X-Files. I can't move whatsoever. I can't seem to grow. My music channel should grow. I'm actually, and I try not to be proud, I've listened to other guitar players out there on YouTube. I've listened to other musicians. There's some pretty good ones and good ones that I like, but there's a lot of them. I don't know how they're growing. They don't play that well. They don't sing that well. Their songwriting is very poor. So, I mean, I say this as humble as I can of why these people have been able to grow and I can't. Because I know that my music, my talent is good. I mean, and I'm trying to say that with all humbleness, okay? And I'm saying it because they're squishing me. They're squishing my message. They're squishing the message that God has given me. They are afraid of messages. Because here's the thing. If Taylor Swift and all the other witches out there on stage are doing what they're doing to the young girls, just imagine what I could do with my music of messages of truth. Could you imagine? Could you imagine what my music could do if it could grow? What it could do to people's hearts? And I try my best, but they won't let me grow. That's why I always have to tell you people have got to spread my music. If you don't spread my ministry, because it's getting to a point right now, I'm probably thinking about taking down my ministry channel because no, but it's not growing. It's not doing anything. You know, you all who listen to me, I don't need to keep saying the same things to all of you over and over again because you all get it. And I'm not getting the last person I got who wasn't worth keeping because he didn't understand it. He was a secular Christian, so I can't deal with that. I don't want to deal with all that. It's just a waste of my time. You know, and so, you know, I asked, but here's the thing. Look, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be staying on here anyway. I'm financially strained right now, and I got bills coming up that I just can't pay. So I probably will be, the way things are going, I'm probably going to be living in my Tahoe very soon. And if that happens, it happens. I'll have money in respect to what comes in my Social Security, but not enough to do anything. Even trying to find other housing, it's not. I can't. I don't have the resources to do that in respect of and then waiting for Hub. I've talked to the people of Hub and all that, and either I'm not old enough, or I'm not young enough, or I'm not this. It's like I'm always not in the Goldilocks zone, if you will, to get certain things. You know, I can't collect social SSI yet because I have to go. I can get information. I've already got information about my eyes and stuff like that, which is my main goal right now. My stomach's the second one, but I won't go to a hospital because I don't trust them. You know, I don't want to go and be put under and not know whether or not they've done something to me. I don't trust these people. How do you trust these people who have lied to you over and over again? And this is what I'm saying, people. When you know they lie, that's when they got to step up their game. And the last thing, they keep changing things. What I'm trying to say is that please, for your own heart and for your own life, wake up, okay? Because like I said, I'm being attacked spiritually by Satan, and I've been attacked for quite a while. And he's attacking me physically, and he's attacking my ministry, and he's attacking everything. And so, like I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be, because I got another bill to pay on this dang internet, and it's just not happening. And I know it's this Christmas thing, and I know that I do humbly always ask for help, and I'm understanding, you know, the situation. And if people are not moved to give, then they're not moved to give, and that's cool and fine. I'm not angry. I'm not hurt. I'm not. I just am in a position, and I still believe in God, and I still put my heart and my trust in God in His hand and in His hands. So. This particular teaching didn't go the way I wanted it, and I apologize for it. But be diligent in trusting in God, and do not believe everything they tell you. This world is wrong. The news, everything that they stand upon is wrong. It's flimsy ground, and even though they're on top, or they think they are right now, these people will pay for everything that they've done. They will eventually have to pay for genocide. They are definitely going to have to pay for the wars that they've done, for the destruction of people's lives, and the destruction of what's happened in our culture and society. Our children are being born to be defiled. They're born. The whole purpose, when they pop out of that belly of a woman, they are marked right now to be controlled, and to be deemed to be either theirs or an enemy. You know, they know that children that usually are brought up with truthers will be truthers themselves, and they're going to do everything they can to destroy them. If they can get them out of the household, which is the next step. That after a certain age, they will eventually work where they're going to take your child away from you. They'll let the child stay with you up until a certain point, and then government will come in and say that it's deemed that we know better on how to treat and how to teach your child, and they will become a child of the state. When that happens, all humanity is gone. That's the next step. That these will be the type of people who will die for the system. These will be the people who will have no problem in giving their souls up, because they won't have the Word of God. When that time comes, the Word of God will be illegal in this country, like it's been in China and other places. That there were places, just imagine if that happened here in America. You know, whether you're an atheist or not, a person has a right to live their life and to believe in what they want. But in China, if you do that, you have to do it in private. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you they don't want to know that you are believing in God. Because when they find out, they will take you and they will either imprison you or they will kill you. That is coming here in America. That is coming here in America. How many of you Christians that say you're Christians, who are emotional Christians, how many of you will deny your faith? Just stay alive. How many of you will deny God just to keep your life? How many of you will bend the knee to the oppressor just to stay afloat, just to stay alive, just to eat? God is waiting to find out what you believe and who you trust in, and so is Satan. And so this is what it is. I'm not going to bow down to Satan. I'm not going to bow down to anything that's evil. I will continue, whether I'm here, whether I'm out there, or whatever, I will continue doing my diligence to speak God's word and to live for God, no matter what. And that's pretty much it, people. That's pretty much it. So once again, I humbly ask that if there are anybody out there who can give, I'd appreciate anything you can give, small amount. I'm not ever asking for large amounts, because that's not my heart. If a few people can give, $10, $20, or even, I'm not like I keep saying over and over again. I'm not trying to buy a plane or a new suit or a second home. I'm a poor man. I really am. And I depend on God, and I depend on things because I can't do what I used to do. And I'm doing everything I can to stay in my faith, because I don't want to live in fear. And I'm not going to allow my heart to live in fear. And If I fear anything, it's going to be God, but I respect my God with all my heart. So you all see that I have my PayPal. You can't click the links. You'll have to do it manually to go into either to go into PayPal or to go into my GoFundMe account. I told you. I think you all heard that now you have to have you have to give them a picture of your license before they put the links up there. Isn't that a bunch of junk? I mean, what the heck? What does that mean? They already know who the heck I am. They can probably get on the internet and find my identification anyway. So I mean, they have the technology to do all this stuff. But this is all part of that. So if I end up if I do that, then I'm little by little putting myself in there. And I've already said it. We already know that when they turn the internet on and off, and when they finally turn it back on, you're going to have to sell your baby to get back on the internet, more than likely. You have to give up your child to get on the internet. You have to give up something to get on the internet. Because they ain't going to let you back on. And when you get back on, you're going to be scrutinized. If you say the one wrong word, they'll cut you off mid-sentence. They'll do things like that. I've been cut off on a live stream because of things I've said before. So anyway. So, like I said, keep praying for me. Keep praying for my health as I keep praying for all of you. Pray for the people in harm's way at these stupid wars that they die safe. Pray for the people let me make sure this is working. Hello? Yeah, I'm still working. Pray for those people in Maui who are being shafted right now for the last few things that I have seen. Maui, I think it's a Hawaii real estate guy has been putting things up. Very few people are able, but they're hiding bones. They don't want people to see what's going on. They don't want real scientists in there who are on our side to go in there and start doing an investigation. Because if they start getting some real scientists who are really, somebody gonna get in trouble on the other side, and they ain't gonna have that. They're gonna clean up this mess so nobody sees anything. Right? So anyway, pray. That's the only power you have, but it's powerful. Powerful prayer. The prayer of a righteous man avails much. Don't ever forget that. So Heavenly Father, I thank you right now for all those people who are homeless. I thank you right now that they stay warm, that they get fed, Father, they get clothed, Father. I thank you right now for hearts not to grow cold. I thank you right now that people open up their eyes and their ears and they listen to truth, Father, and stop listening to the lies of the mainstream and stop listening to the lies of demons. I thank you right now, Father, that people become wise in your word, Father, that they grow and Christians grow in power and in spirit, Father. I claim obedience to the Spirit in the name of Christ. In the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of our Heavenly Father, and in the name of everything that's righteous and good, I claim obedience. Derby Jack out, and I hope to see you all on the other side.